Okay. Is that looking good, Lindsay? Have I gotten the right setting? Yes. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we're going to record it as well, but we'll stop it at the end so you can feel free to ask any more personal questions. Just going to put my phone. Yeah, so that because there's a few people that couldn't come, so we're going to share the recording with those. So I'm officially welcoming you tonight to our essential oil intro class. Lindsay and I have started doing these together. We're both really, really passionate about the oils, and we're also a bit of science geeks, so we'll try not to go into the science too much. But we like to talk about the science quite a lot. We love the research behind the oils, and our real passion, though, has come from using the oils. We've both been using them for almost 15 years, and we're both mums, and that's something that really has united us in this mission and this purpose. So yes, it is what we do for our business, and we've chosen this business because of its alignment with us and what we've seen these oils do and how they've helped so many people with so many different things. Whatever you can think of, there is an oil for that. There really is. And it's just mind blowing. And when I first came across the essential oils, I had no idea that essential oils could be used for medicine, let alone all the things that I've now experienced either on myself, my children, or others. So now our mission is literally to invite everybody to join us in this natural medicine journey, to try the oils, to have hope and to have faith enough to test them and to start using them on your own specific ailments. And we're here to help you every step of the way. So tonight is an intro. We hope you don't feel too overwhelmed by it. We are keeping it simple. And the idea is to open your eyes to what these essential oils can do. So Lindsay's going to start us off on this journey tonight. Thanks, Linz.
That's perfect. Thanks, Bex. So, as Rebecca said, we have been using these oils for quite some time, and what I love is that this gives us options, right? We need to be able to have, to me, the most important thing is to be able to have choices. If we don't have any, if there are no options, if the only option is to go and see the doctor and see what you're prescribed, that's not really very many options, and so you have no choice. And so I love that this gives me options. We have the modern approach now. As Vex has said, we're both very much rooted in science. I did grow up using essential oils because my mum is a total hippie. And so what I've been able to do as I've come into this doTERRA world that I always thought I am far too scientific. I don't do essential oils, or certainly not for anything serious because they can only help with little things. I've learnt so much that actually we can marry the two together, and I absolutely love that. Now, when we look at this modern approach or the allopathic approach, we're usually going to be looking at synthetics that are designed to manage symptoms, and they achieve incredible things, and they can be absolutely life-saving, and they are only really going to address the symptoms. Meaning that if we stop that medication, everything goes back to the issue. We have not addressed the root cause and we have not solved the problem. And it's costing a huge amount of money and time and let alone all the health conditions. Then we have the other approach, the natural or holistic approach, and that is where we actually dive into the root cause. Could you just go back one, please, Bex? We look at the actual root cause and we're resolving the issue so that the symptoms go away. Now, we've experienced this myself, and with massive symptoms. I had some pelvic issues, and the symptoms were that I ended up suffering from depression. And then so I was prescribed antidepressants and a whole plethora of pain medication. And really, and one of the questions which I thought was ridiculous from one of the mental health people I saw was, if we put your pelvis aside, what like, what do you actually, how do you actually feel? And I thought that is such a ridiculous question. The pelvis is the issue. That is the root cause of the depression because I cannot live properly. So what I'm saying is that we do not want to just plaster over the cracks with things that are not solving the problem. We can support our body, we can flood our body with nutrients, and that's what we're here to give you those options to be able to do that. So how do we do that? What does that look like? Well, it looks like these incredibly effective essential oils. Now, I said I grew up using essential oils. I thought they were some of the best essential oils because they were in France, they were organic, they were naturally sourced. I'm sorry, they were locally sourced in the Pyrenees and they were beautiful. And they were good essential oils. Now I have learned that there's a little bit more to purity than just the organic certification. And actually, organic doesn't mean a whole lot when it comes to essential oils. So the key things with essential oils that we need that are really important are purity and potency. And we're going to first look at purity. Purity means there is nothing else in that bottle. So if I pick up this bottle of wild orange, there is nothing in there but orange essential oil. There are no synthetics, there are no fillers, there is nothing in there that will do any harm to me whatsoever. The second thing is potency. So actually, before I move on to potency, we don't just go, oh, that's fantastic. We can trust that they've done that. They do a whole battery of tests on every single batch of essential oils to ensure that the purity is always there, not just spot checking. Every single batch is checked for purity. There should be no heavy metals, no toxins, no bacteria, no nothing that shouldn't be in there. So I won't list everything that could be in there. So that's the purity aspect. The second thing is potency. Now, potency, if you've ever had strawberries at this time of year compared to in the summer months, you know what it means to have strawberries that are the way they should be in the summer and the way they should not be in the winter. So they're watery, they are not very flavoursome, they are barely red. And then we have the ones in the summer. They're gorgeously sweet and juicy and really ripe and red. This is what we're getting in our essential oils. So all essential oils also have the right season and the right maturity level, and so that will vary from essential oil to essential oil, from plant to plant. And because doTERRA is rooted in science, they know all of this information. They know how long it needs to be left for in order to get the best essential oils. And so we get the highest purity and the highest potency. The second part to that is that they source them from all over the world. And so you can see that 1 drop of peppermint essential oil, so I'm going to put 1 drop of peppermint essential oil, would be equivalent to having 20, you're going to do this with us in a minute, 28 cups of peppermint tea. 28 cups, that's how potent these essential oils are. So we're getting the benefits of so much more than the herb version. So oregano, brilliant for immunity. Um, Fantastic for parasites, for example. We are not going to have the same impact by, putting a whole jar of oregano in anything as we would putting 1 drop of oregano in a glass of water, for example. This also enables us to affect inside the cells, so they're able to pass inside the cells. We're going to go into this a little bit more when we talk about oregano and tea tree, because actually this is one of my favorite qualities with these essential oils,
Mhm.
is that they can do things that medication can't. It just cannot do it. And so I've just experienced this. You may hear I'm a little bit still on the recovery. I had tonsillitis a few days ago, and within 2 days, using oregano and tea tree and frankincense and lemon, and various other essential oils, I totally cleared it. My fever was gone, the daggers in my throat were gone, because they can enter the cell, they can isolate the virus, and they can stop it from then spreading everywhere. And that's the amazing things we can do. The second thing, if you could show the map, please. Yeah. The other thing about it is that they are sourced all over the world, and this is how we get this extreme potency as well. They are sourced where they should grow, not in big greenhouses, because the essential oils are the immune system of the plant. And we all know that if you are locked in a sterile room, which would be the equivalent of a greenhouse, your immune system would be really, really low. Now, this doesn't mean that they won't be grown initially in a greenhouse, because that's how we grow baby plants, and then they'll be then planted in the place where they need to grow. And so we then get these really powerful immunity of this plant, which means we get all of the amazing chemistry, the variations in compounds in each essential oil. And you don't just have to kind of go, oh, that's really nice. You can actually get the chemical report, the chemistry report about each bottle. So on the bottom of the bottle, you can see it on the image. There's a little number, a batch number, and you can enter that on a website called Source to You, and you can get all of this information about from the source of the plant to you in your bottle, which is so amazing to be able to see that. And the other key thing that makes all the difference is that it goes directly from the growers and the distillers to doTERRA. It doesn't have any middlemen. They don't have anyone that a big company that they're buying essential oils from. It's directly with doTERRA, which is a huge bonus because that means that they get to have totally quality control over what these essential oils, what compounds are in there, etc. And so that's a really, really big deal. And I've been fortunate enough to visit quite a few of the different sites where they source their essential oils, and to see this firsthand, the impact we're able to have on the communities. You can see it says co-impact sourcing here. I absolutely love this philosophy where we're not just sourcing for ourselves, we're sourcing for the impact we can have on the families who are using the essential oils like us, and the people who are growing them, and the people who are earning through that method as well. And it's such a beautiful system, and it's really touching when you see the impact we're having on the other side of the bottle as well. So the
Mm.
key things about doTERRA's essential oils are that they are 100% natural and safe. They have no side effects because there's nothing bad in there. We cannot get addicted to essential oils because they don't battle against our body. They don't force our body in any direction. They will support balance and homeostasis in everything, which is incredible. We recently had a question about cholesterol in our customer group, about lowering cholesterol, and someone said, "Well, why would you want to lower cholesterol? It's really important to have, balanced cholesterol, as in for your brain health." And so that's what I love is I could just say, well, some of these essential oils are really good for it. And ultimately, it's never going to force our body too low or too high because it's helping to bring it where it needs to be. And because these are living substances, so they're not just gonna um, apply a formula like a chemical would. I've kind of mentioned all about the potency, and the certified pure tested grade means that we know that they are tested to within an inch of their lives so that we can trust that every single bottle is absolute perfection. And they don't just do it themselves, they have stringent third-party testing. So they test it, then a third party tests it, and then it sends back to doTERRA and they test it again. So 3 times those tests are carried out. And so they are the safest essential oils in the world for all of those reasons. And so this is one of the reasons why these are the oils we use. And actually, it's been very difficult. A friend of mine was asking me, her mum was ill while they were on holiday. What can she use? And I kind of thought, what do you have with you? And she said, oh, I can go to the pharmacy and this is in France, I can get some da 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 from different things from the pharmacy. And I thought, honestly, I don't know because I cannot recommend using essential oils from a pharmacy in the way that we use doTERRA. So we use them in a very specific way that we just cannot use other essential oils. And as it's recorded, I'm not going to tell a very embarrassing story for my sister as to how we know this, but please trust that we cannot, and we have tested this, use other essential oils, even ones that say they're pure and organic and beautiful. Do not use them in the same way as we use doTERRA. Okay, so please trust me on that one because it burns in the worst places possible. I've already mentioned this about the co-impact sourcing. Now, the top 3 health concerns when we're looking at all of the sources of all the symptoms, and often we're really going to handle symptoms. We've got headaches, we've got poor skin, we've got breaking hair, we've got mood swings, also all those kind of things. Often that's what we're going to focus on, or I've got pain. Most of the time, the root cause of these things will be these 3 things. So lack of sleep, too much stress, and toxins in our body. And I would add your gut, which is going to affect you. All of this will affect your gut. And so we have these 2 approaches. Either we're just going to address the symptom, as I've mentioned, which is the way most medication will work, or we're going to address the root cause. Now, you'll look at some of these things are big things. Symptoms does not mean small. Autoimmune disease, that's huge. That's absolutely affecting you every single day. And yet, the root cause is what we're going to be addressing. Maybe we'll support with the symptoms, like dry and itchy skin. Yeah, there's totally some oils we can use to address that and to support that. But we're going to go inside and we're going to deal with the issue, which is going to be in the gut. And so we're going to really, really handle that and inflammation in the body, and we can really help with that. Now, we can use 1,000 essential oils. No amount of essential oils are going to compensate for a lack of nutrition. So let's just address that straight away. That's why this is here. And I love that this is a really easy way. Now, I eat quite a balanced meal. I would say I eat quite well, I would even say. And still, I know through research, because I used to think I eat well, I don't need a multivitamin. I was wrong. Our vitamins are not as strong as they used to be in our food. And so this supplement has been incredible for us as a family. All of our children have it because it's a powder. So we're going to mix VMG, which is vitamins, minerals, and greens, plus a few bonus things. Now, those bonus things are going to be a few probiotics, a few terras, a few digestive enzymes, all extra things that are helping us to feel our best. And so this is what I mean by flooding our body with nutrients every single day. Not just nutrients that are come through and come out in our urine, nutrients that are bioavailable, that are going to work together to increase absorption. And actually, over a 6 week period, these vitamins were able to improve iron presence in the blood 6 times. They had 6 times more iron in our blood by using these supplements. Isn't that amazing? Iron is such a key nutrient that we really, really need. And then we have vitamin C, vitamin E, the same kind of scenario. Vitamin E, I think, was 4 times. And the key thing here, we have 92 whole ingredients that are going to be able to be absorbed. And even though it's green, it tastes delicious. Because it has pineapple and mango in there, and it has all these phytonutrients. And I absolutely love being able to give this to my whole family. And it tastes really, really lovely. So I would highly recommend flooding your body with nutrients every day and supporting it in all the other ways that we're going to share with you this evening. So don't forget the nutrition matters.
Thanks so much, Linz.
And I'm going to hand over to Bex.
Okay, so that's brilliant. So hopefully already we're building this picture of we're not just treating symptoms. Like Lindsay said, we can treat symptoms and the oils do treat symptoms. They'll treat that headache. And actually that's just going to keep coming back unless we look at the root cause of that issue, which as Lindsay says, always stems from the gut and emotions as well. So let's not forget the emotions and the physical are so connected. And the wonderful thing about the oils is that when you use a few of them together, so they're designed to use in combination, they actually address the whole body for you. So you don't need to be an essential oil expert to be able to address the root cause of what's going on. You don't need to know absolutely everything about exactly the trail of where this symptom that you're feeling comes from. The oils will do that for you. They'll work on an emotional level, they'll work on the gut, they'll work on a physical level, they'll also work on a spiritual level as well. So it's all there. It's the whole treatment, which is why this is holistic healing and very, very effective. So some of you on this call I know already have oils. So if you have your peppermint and wild orange at hand, I invite you to join me in a quick wild orange and peppermint boost. This is what I do every single day throughout the day. And those ladies who joined me on the spa on Sunday, we did it. And it literally is such an energy boost. It helps to bring more oxygen to your brain. The peppermint does, helps you to focus, helps to clear any brain fog, helps to open up those airways. So I do this every single day. And as you start using the oils, they're designed to be used daily and throughout the day. And you'll find your own things that you absolutely love and become like your anchors to help you through the day. This is my 3 o'clock dip as well, instead of like taking a coffee to just help me, have that second boost of energy as well. So it's one of my favorite combinations. So, what are the three ways you can take these oils? Lindsay did a great job at explaining the difference between these oils and other oils. So, everything we say from this point onwards really is referring just to doTERRA essential oils. We have to say that because there are things we're going to be saying that we definitely would say absolutely don't do this with any other oils, and it's because we have that absolute guarantee of how pure they are. So aromatically, that is a wonderful way of getting them into your brain. So to help with emotional. So emotional health, aromatic is the key, right? Getting it to that limbic system. They can hack emotions. So it can change the chemistry like that. It can be quite instant and it can become an anchor as well. And when used daily over time, can start to break those really deeply rooted emotional habits that you have too. So that's a really powerful way of using the oils. You can also use them aromatically for immune boosting. So Lindsay mentioned this, and we're gonna share a few oils later that can really help to work with your body. Remember, the oils always work with your body to boost your immune system and fight off airborne viruses, anything like that, bacteria. If someone comes into my house and I've got a guest coming and they start coughing, I can just quickly put some oils into my diffuser and feel confident that that is going to kill anything that's been brought in by this person. So it's a really lovely way of giving to the whole room as well, the whole environment in an office or at home. So especially, teenagers or children or husbands that might be reluctant to use the oils, wives, let's not be sexist. You can get them in the diffuser and you can reach everyone by putting them in the diffuser. So also good for like opening your airways when you're sleeping. And also there are lovely oils to have to help you go to sleep and help you stay asleep and have deeper sleeps. So topical. This is very intuitive. So again, as you start using the oils, and we will help you every step of the way, as I've already said, but they become quite intuitive. So you can put these oils on topically, and we do recommend using a carrier oil when you're first starting to use the oils. And if you think, I've got a headache, where do I want this oil to go? If it's tense, put it on the back of your neck. If you need it on your temples, rub it into your temples. If you've got a stomach pain, rub it onto your stomach. So you can localize these oils to where you really want to feel the most impact. And then internally. Like I said, please do not use any other oils internally. It's only because doTERRA's oils are so pure that we can use them internally. And also, I wouldn't put any other oils on topically or breathe them in either because they're bringing toxins into your body as well. So internally though is even more important. You just use doTERRA's oils, and it's because they are so pure. We can use them in this way, and it's such a wonderful way to address the gut, helping your microbiome, helping with anything systemic. So when you've got a flu, when you've got tonsillitis, I had tonsillitis at the beginning of my journey. I used to get tonsillitis all the time, and it was horrific. And it was the one thing that I would actually take antibiotics for, even though I really didn't want to, and I didn't have any other options. I was very reluctant to take medicine, but I would for tonsillitis. And I would gargle with oregano, on guard, and drink the oils, and it would really, really helped me to get over those tonsillitis so quickly. And you can also make little capsules as well that we can guide you in. So these are the things you can do with the oils. You can address anything, and depending on what you're wanting to address, depends on how you would use them. But you can also play around with them. They're very safe, and so you can find out what works for you. And especially taking lemon and water is so good as well to start the day. And I'll come on to lemon in a second. This is a very technical, scientific. I said we were scientists. Here you go. Here's the scientific formula. So to use the oils, they are just so simple. And like I said, when you first start, use them with the carrier oil. We recommend coconut oil, and doTERRA do a lovely fractionated coconut oil that's liquid at room temperature. And you just put a splodge and then a couple, 2 to 4 drops of the oil and rub it onto the area of need. And you can just reapply this, every 20 minutes if it's acute, if something's really acute, just for a short period of time. Otherwise, every 2 hours as needed. And sometimes just once is enough, right? So you just feel it. And again, we'll help you further with this if you choose to start your journey with us. So on to the oils. We're going to just share 10 core oils with you tonight and just go through what these oils can do for you. And the reason why it's these 10 core oils is because they are the starting point that really help address most ailments when they work together. So the key thing is that they work together. So lemon is your cleanser. No surprises here. Some of you may even be lemon drinkers already. You have a lovely slice of lemon in your water. Um, that's okay. And the lemon essential oil is far, far better for a few reasons. Firstly, the lemon in your water is acidic, so that's going to wear on the enamel of your teeth. Whereas the lemon essential oil comes from the rind of the lemon and it's alkaline, so it's not going to wear on your teeth at all, won't damage your teeth at all. So you can just drink as much as you like throughout the day, as in one drop in a glass of water, and just keep, having one drop in a glass of water, and it's not going to be wearing on the enamel on your teeth. It's also the immune system of the plant is in this lemon. So the sliced lemon doesn't have anywhere near as much goodness as what this lemon essential oil does. So this lemon doesn't have vitamin C, that's in the flesh of the lemon. And what it does have is everything else, all the healing properties of that essential oil. So this lemon is going to support your liver in getting rid of toxins from your body. There's also a gentle weight loss as well. It helps with digestion. It's one of the ones we use in our flu bomb that we've mentioned a couple of times when we got tonsillitis. It's one that we'll be taking as part of that recipe to help fight any viruses. It's energizing, it's uplifting. So I start my day every single day with a drop of lemon, and it's even better in warm water as well. Lavender, the calmer. If you think of lavender as everything calming, so we're not just talking about sleep and stress, although it does help with those things. It's if you think of anything that needs to be calmed. So one of my first really good experiences where I really got to see the oils in action was with my 3-year-old at the time. I'd only just bought my set of oils, my starter set. And I had an app as well and a little book of how to use them. And my daughter, 3-year-old, woke up in the middle of the night, Friday night, of course, no doctors to call, no one's available, and she's screaming in agony. And she's got this really raised rash, really fiery, horrible rash, like boils almost over her body. I'd never seen anything like it on her. And so I was like, okay, I've got oils, I've got oils. So I went to the book and it said to use lavender and frankincense and with some carrier oil. So I got my coconut oil and I just put a few splodges in my hand and put a couple of drops of the oils on and then rubbed them on Sienna's body. Now, it took about 10 minutes for the fire, I'd say, to really start coming out, and she's calmed down. So after 10 minutes, she had really calmed and she looked different already just within 10 minutes. Like the fire, I said, had really come out, the rash. And then I was able to put her to sleep. And the next day, nothing. She woke up, there was no signs of any rash at all, and she'd had a really good night's sleep, and so had I. So that was like, wow, this is incredible. These are the tools I now have in my home. And that's what we want to empower you with, so that whatever comes up, you have a tool that can help you. You've got your book or your app and you've got your set of oils and you're ready to address anything, as well as addressing the things you already are aware of, right? Like lavender is one of the ones, for example, for like high blood pressure and some more serious ailments as well. So the refresher, peppermint. I think if I was to pick one oil, this would be it. One drop of this is the same as 28 cups of peppermint tea. It is so strong. And I think being a mom who works, I live off peppermint. It really keeps me going. I've already mentioned quite a few of the things that this wonderful one does. But literally, if you have a cold, you will be attached to this. Like it helps you to breathe. It just helps to clear that fog. It helps release tension. It is incredible. Now, lavender, lemon, and peppermint together is the seasonal blend. So if any of you suffer from allergies of any kind, that is the trio that you will want to use consistently, especially leading up to May if you get hay fever. We recommend starting it early, and then that's building up in your body. But yeah, it's really good for allergies. My husband's allergic to wasp stings, really badly allergic to them. And we've had to use this combination topically and internally to really take him out of some tricky situations. Tea tree. So tea tree, that first aid oil that again, lots of people are aware of. With this tea tree, it's so potent that it really does incredible things. So it's a great antiseptic for the kitchen surface. I use it for cleaning. Incredible for ear infections, um, head lice, yeah, acne, spots, warts as well. Really good. And it's a very gentle one. So you can put it on neat as well. I put it on neat. Again, when you first start using it, you need to test your own skin sensitivity. So use it with a carrier oil to begin with. But generally, tea tree and lavender, you can put on neat. So I use this for like cuts to stop them getting infected. So a really good one to have as a first aid oil. Then oregano. Oh my goodness, this one is incredible. It's nature's strongest natural antibiotic. It's the real gut cleanser as well. Any parasites out there, which actually we probably do all have. Sorry to bring that up. But if you eat meat, you probably do have some and fish and, and been traveling. So oregano is something I use sporadically internally to help deal with that problem. Um, Candida, again, which is so common and actually the root of so many things. So taking oregano is a really good thing to add into your daily routine. I don't take oregano forever. It's one that I'll dip in and dip out of. It's a very strong oil, so I wouldn't recommend taking it every day. But certainly just when you've come back from traveling, perhaps I would take it for 7 days. It's one of those that you know about if you've taken it internally. So my preferred way of taking this is either on the bottom of my feet. That's a really safe place to put the oils because your skin isn't as sensitive there. So a great place to test out how sensitive you are to the oils. Test them on the bottom of your feet. And a great way to get them around your whole body, but also in like capsules. So I make capsules of oregano. Now, tea tree and oregano, as Lindsay touched on earlier, work together to attack these foreign substances in our body, foreign microbes that we do not want. Okay, so I mentioned candida, so yeast, fungi, bacteria, and viruses. Oregano and tea tree can get rid of them. And viruses is the key one there, right? Because medicine doesn't help us with that. And oregano and tea tree can because they are able to enter our cells because they're so tiny, they're able to pass through the cells and they're also lipid based. They can pass through the lipid membrane of the cell membrane and get into our cells and attack those viruses that sneak into our cells to hide. So that's wonderful. And also for more persistent warts, oregano is the one. You just need to be conscious of putting some coconut oil around it. Frankincense, my word. So frankincense, if you haven't heard of the wonderful things frankincense can do, there are lists and lists. It's one of those oils that has such a wide chemistry that it can help with so many different things. It's one of the highest ones for inflammation. So it really brings down inflammation in the body and the mind. So think about emotions. And if you think about the root of every single thing, it is inflammation. Frankincense is something you want to take daily. It is the most expensive oil in these 10 oils that we're explaining today. And so it's better to get it as part of a kit. It's cheaper to get it with a kit. And frankincense is the most expensive, not because we want to make loads of money from frankincense. It's because the raw material you need is so much just to get one bottle of frankincense. And we get it from, over in Oman and Somalia. And we really have to make sure it's pure. So much of it gets discarded to get one bottle of frankincense. So this is an incredible frankincense. You're getting a really pure one and it helps with brain support. So any of those tricky brain conditions, deep inflammation, as I said. Also, it's anti-aging, really good for the skin. And it helps to increase the impact of all the other oils by up to 10 times. So if there's anything serious going on, like with my daughter with her lavender with the rash, add frankincense in to really enhance it. But really severe things like depression, anxiety, those kind of emotional things, frankincense is the one. And then Lindsay's going to take us through our blends.
Sorry, unmute. Thank you. So air is the first blend that we're going to talk about. As it says, the name says, it's all about breathing. It's all about helping to open up the airways to help us to take a breath emotionally and physically. And so it's so good to be able to support us throughout the winter time when maybe that's an issue. But also maybe you have a snoring husband or other half. I know we have a double snorers in our bed, so both of us do. So we put air on quite a lot. And so we're able to put that over the bridge of our noses. Or you can put it on your chest. We're going to put that with a carrier oil, or we can just inhale it. I do a lot of inhaling from my hands. So just doing as Becky has said, just dropping it in my hands and taking a deep breath. And that's a brilliant one to use that with. As I said, for the emotional support is just when, if you're just feeling like, oh my gosh, I just cannot catch a breath, go and get your air and take a deep breath. So emotionally as well as physically, it's just helping you to do that. Then we've got the Zen Jest. Now, Zen Jest, I love the smell of air. I think it smells really beautiful. It would basically would be the natural version of Vicks or Olbus oil, which is very unnatural, parading as natural, by the way. So just to be aware. So air is going to be a definite alternative for those ones. Then we've got Zen Jest. Zengest is not one of my favorite smells. It's quite a strong one. So it has fennel and aniseed and ginger and everything that our grandmothers or great grandmothers might have boiled up in a bowl and given you for a sore tummy. We get to just drop it in some water and drink it. So Zengest is for everything within your digestive system from this end to the other one that can maybe go awry, or if we're just needing a bit more support, then we can use Zengest. And it can be something that we take daily. If this is something that's an issue long term, we can just use it daily, or it can be as and when needed. As someone who has IBS, I should say maybe I had IBS because I don't really have many issues with it now. Zengest is amazing for those moments where the cramping or the bloating begins and you just feel like, oh my gosh, I feel like a baby when they cry because they've got colic or a sore tummy and you just want to cry. It's really painful. And so Zengest can just put one drop in a glass of water, drink it, and literally within less than 5 minutes, that's all just calmed down. Isn't that amazing? For any of you who have experienced that, it's really quite difficult and it definitely affects how you're relating to other people as well. So we can absolutely handle that. Or maybe we don't like the flavour of it, or maybe our children don't want to drink it, and that's okay. We can rub it on the tummy with a carrier oil in a clockwise direction or under the feet, and that's a really, really good way to do it. Toileting issues, which is a really good way to put like keeping people regular, or they are too regular and we need to kind of calm everything down. That's we can use the same oil because, like I said before, it's going to bring it into balance. It's not forcing one direction or another, it's bringing it back into balance because it's supporting our body to do what it needs to do. And so Zengest is going to help to calm the inside of our gut and just help to reduce that inflammation so that everything just feels better. We've also used it for motion sickness on boats and cars and buses. So it is such a powerful oil to have. I will have one of these in my handbag or on my person at any given time because it's such a key oil to have. So Zengest, we absolutely love this. The settler, it settles everything down. Then we're going to move into On Guard, which Bex has already mentioned. On Guard is the protector. So I love this image. My son actually, when I think he was about 10, maybe 9, and I was putting On Guard. I usually put On Guard over the winter. I'll put it up and down their spine or under their feet with a roller, so it's diluted every day. And so he's saying, are you doing this because it's kind of creating a bubble around me? And I thought, yes, that's exactly what I'm doing. So what we're doing with the protector On Guard, it's called the protective blend, is we are arming our immune system with a huge number of antioxidant essential oils so that it's going to help it to be even stronger. Because we're going to be bombarded. There's a battle going on within our gut and within our immune system at any given time on any given day. And so we're just giving our immune system a head start by strengthening it. It's also really good for like a sore throat. It has things like clove in there. So that's going to be really helpful to just as an analgesic, so it's going to help with a sore throat. It's also going to help with any sort of oral hygiene. I actually, every time, my dentists don't really tend to like us massively because I ask so many questions and I can't remember what name they called it. And I said, do you ever use clove? And he said, yes, we use blah, 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 whatever other name he gave it, but actually it's clove. And I was like, why don't you just call it clove then? So actually dentists still use some of the properties of of clove in our kind of modern medicine, which I love. I think it's really, really good to see that happening. So we can use this as a mouthwash. We can use this in our cleaning. Our cleaning is all derived from On Guard. We use the On Guard Cleaner Concentrate, which is my favorite. I'm so sad when it finishes because I'm like, oh my gosh, everything relies on this bottle. And so we're cleaning our counters, we're doing our laundry. And so On Guard is present everywhere because we're always needing a bit of extra immune support. And so we love that one. Then we have the soother, which is deep blue. So deep blue is all about soothing tension, aches and pains, joints, just calming down. Again, if you everything I say about physically, you can think of that from an emotional perspective as well. The protector, setting boundaries around us for other people, which is a really important thing to be able to practice as well. Deep blue, it's just calming our emotions and helping us to just calm down. And so we're going to use this a lot, maybe on our shoulders, on our backs, for example. And it's a really easy way to just put it. I tend to either we use a deep blue stick, which is already created, and we just rub it on something, or a cream, or you can use the deep blue oil because this comes as part of the core 10, which is brilliant. And then you can make your own cream with a bit of hard coconut oil that you melt down and add the oil in, or just make it into a roller. So it's a really, really instant, you get this heating and cooling sensation on those joints or muscles. And it's so, so effective. It can help with things like growing pains, bruises, aches and pains following recovery from a virus, for example. So it's so much that the deep blue can do. Now you'll notice some of these things overlap. Which is brilliant because it means that if you don't have every oil, because you're not going to have every oil, that's okay because there's loads of overlap. And actually, often we're going to work with oils together. We're going to make combinations of essential oils to achieve even bigger things. And so when we combine these oils, one of my favorite combinations is wild orange and peppermint, or wild orange and balance, or wild orange and on guard. You can see the pattern here. I love wild orange. Wild orange is one of my favorite oils because it's a natural mood lifter, and it's a cleanser. So could you go to the next one, please, Bex? So when we combine these oils in different ways, we can really achieve some quite incredible impact, like just exponentially. There is no limit to what we can achieve with different combinations of essential oils. So as you can see, like lavender and frankincense, we're stimulating serotonin, we're reducing cortisol, so we're down regulating cortisol, and we're helping to just calm the nervous system. Okay, energy boost, lemon and peppermint, or wild orange and peppermint. So you can see these combinations are unbelievably powerful. We just used, I'm not going to recommend this as a way to test it, by the way, but we just used lavender, lemon, and peppermint in a quite emergency situation yesterday. My son, who's allergic to cashew nuts, had some granola that had cashew nuts in it, which we didn't realize. And so I gave him what we call Tri-Ease, which is lavender, lemon, and peppermint in a little soft gel, because that is our natural antihistamine blend, and it's very, very effective. And then this flute here, you can see flute, frankincense, lemon, oregano, on guard, and tea tree. This is always everywhere. I think I don't have one next to me. We have a roller of that. It is our go-to. I call it the big guns of immunity. So if you would normally require antibiotics for something, Becky has mentioned tonsillitis, this is what we use. This is what we go to. And I love that there's no need to wipe out my gut bacteria or my kids' gut bacteria. I can support their immune system and their gut bacteria is happy as a sandboy. And that is so good, right? We can support their health and make them feel better all at the same time. So these combinations are really, really powerful.
Okay. It's me again, huh? So
Mhm.
thanks, Linz. Yeah, so I've mentioned a little bit about the cost of oils. I mean, they're very different in price, and it's because it's all the raw material of that particular oil. So the citrus oils, for example, I use a lot every day, and they're one of the cheapest ones. So they cost about £15 for the wholesale price for a bottle. And then you have your lavenders and peppermint, on guard oreganos that are in your kind of 20s to 30 range, because that's how much the raw material costs to make one of those bottles. Then we go up to the frankincense, which is more like at £80 for a bottle. So that's what I mean when I talk about frankincense, it's much cheaper to get that in a kit. And because they're so potent, frankincense, just use one drop. I do use one drop daily, and I didn't at the beginning. I used to smell the bottle to help it last longer. So the oils will last a long time. There's 240, 250 drops in a 15 ml bottle of essential oil. And look at, the prices here. We've kind of broken down the prices here just to kind of show you, for those of you that have already perhaps experienced really bad health, what you wouldn't give to have your good health, right? And the thing is, we experience these warnings all the time. From quite young, really, we get these whisperings, and our body's trying to communicate with us. And often we're too busy or we don't take it seriously and we just carry on, put a plaster on it, perhaps take some medication to push through. And what's happening is these root problems are just growing and getting bigger and bigger until they explode, and we experience these huge symptoms that force us to stop, right? And that's when that can become really costly, because we do have time off work or and more than money. For me, health is everything. Without your health, you can't, you're not free to be who you are, and you're not able to give to yourself, to anybody. And you're just in survival mode. And that's not what life is about. This is what we don't want people to be, is in survival mode. We want you to thrive. And so this is where essential oils come in, is by using them daily, they stay on top of these whisperings. They're getting rid of the toxins constantly. They're correcting whatever needs to be corrected. You're using them for emotional support, so you never get to that crisis phase. And if you are in that crisis phase now, that's okay. We are sometimes now in this society that we live in, it's kind of accepted that that's it then. You just take pills and then you take side effect pills for those side effects, and then you end up taking a whole collection of pills. And that is what growing old is now perhaps normal, it looks like. And we're here to say that no, that doesn't have to be that way. There is answer. There are lots of answers, and this comes in the form of good nutrition, good sleep, good water, hydration, doing those activities that help to calm you as well, and then natural medicine that work with your body. There is hope for anything that you're suffering with. So at the moment, though, anyone new feeling a bit like this? So I know quite a few of you aren't you, and you've been using oils for a little bit. So hopefully you're not feeling like this now because you've heard this a few times. But some of you perhaps that are new to essential oils might be feeling a bit, this is so much information and I really like it and I don't really know what I just heard. That kind of a feeling. So we're here to help simplify it for you as well. So this is where I started, it's where Lindsay started, and it's where we recommend everyone start. Whatever you are suffering with, or if you're not suffering with anything in particular, then this is for you too. This is like your home essentials family medicine kit. And if you're not with a family, that's fine too, it will just last longer. So it's your kit that you can use for anything that comes up and feel confident that you have the answer for anything. So some questions you might be saying to yourself, and we know this because we've had these thoughts. So you may be having similar thoughts to what we've had. Do essentials even work? They still, it was so new to me. I was like, really, really, do they? I mean, really, I'd really want to believe this, but do they? So hopefully we've done a good job of helping you think, you know what, there's a chance these essentials really can do what these people are saying they can do. What if it doesn't work for me? What if it works for them, but I don't experience the results? This is where it's really important that we're not just isolating one oil and say, take this oil and that's the oil that's going to help you. This is where the combination of oils really helps. And as Lindsay said, there's not just one answer for any ailment. So when I look up an ailment and it tells me which oils to use, there's always a few oils that will do similar things. And because we all have different body chemistry, one oil will work better on me than you. And that's why it's really good to start with a starter kit like we've just shown, because there will always be an oil in there that's going to help. And then it's the combination, though. It's hardly ever just an isolated oil that makes the big impact. Do I need a starter kit or can I just buy one oil? Well, I think I just kind of answered that one actually in the two. So yes, of course, one oil is going to be lovely to have. And is it really going to make a big impact? No, it's the combination of oils that's treating the whole body, and they all accentuate each other. So they work together to have a better impact than just having one. This is Lindsay. Do you want to quickly just share your
Yeah.
things with this?
Just before I just address that question, actually,
Yeah.
that the thing with it just having like why I love the starter kit is that we're introducing that habit where it's not just an oil that we've bought. This is now going to be our go-to, and it becomes a habit. So it takes time maybe to become a habit. But if you just have one or two oils, you're not going to go and address every issue with those two oils, and so it's not going to become a habit. So it's kind of this
Mm,
cycle where you're setting yourself up to be able to address almost anything by having a variety of oils, and that means you will be able to address almost anything. I hope that makes sense. And so you're really giving yourself the capacity and empowering yourself to address almost anything. Now,
mm.
will I become dependent on essential oils? I'm going to burst your bubble. Yes, you will. Not from a biochemistry perspective, because they don't do that, but from a habit perspective. I don't know how to raise children and help and support babies without doTERRA essential oils. So any of my friends who have babies, I will give them some essential oils because that's the best way I know how to support them as mothers. So yes, we'll become dependent on essential oils, but absolutely not from an addiction perspective. And so when we're talking about being dependent or addicted to things, it's from a biochemistry perspective within our brains that we're going to need that dopamine hit. That's not how this is going to work. But yes, they'll become a habit, and we will use, I use oils all the time. They are everywhere in our house. So yeah, I we use them a lot.
I echo that. I'm not sure I'll know how to use the oils or stick with it. That's where we come in and help. We are not about just selling some oils to you and then leaving you. That is not our mission. Our mission is to really help you feel confident and really feel empowered that you can become your own essential oil healer, but that takes a bit of time, right? And we're here to help guide you on that and help you with your whatever it is that you want to address. We're here to help. So, what will it cost you to get these oils? What does it all mean? So these are the 10 core oils. The main starter kit with the 15 ml bottles. This is what it costs at retail, £371.33. And what, as I said, we're not going to just leave you there. We're going to give you consultations as well. So it depends, we all do it differently. And depending what your needs are, you will have a 3 month support plan where you'll be helped to create your own daily routine. And that's the key. So using these daily, but it'll be specific to what your needs are and will help guide you in those 3 months to help you be confident. And I love this analogy. We all, I think, can agree that we'd prefer to have a glass of freshly squeezed orange juice straight from the source, freshly done in front of us, compared to 100% concentrate juice, right? So just to remind you of what we're talking with, you really do get what you pay for when it comes to doTERRA's essential oils. The quality is huge and really, really, honestly, you can see essential oils for £5, £10 in the shop. You are not getting the same product. It's a completely different product. And so hopefully that analogy helps a bit as well. So more, what will you also receive with this? It's not just the first 3 months consultation. We also have a lot of online support resources, including introductory courses and we do continued education from different specialists and different people who have really used these oils for what they're presenting on. So loads of support that you can tap into whatever you want as well. And then also on top of that, you've had access to our Facebook group support again if you want. And this is an incredible resource. We said invaluable. It really is one of those places where you can get so much information. And there are hundreds of people on this group that have been using oils for different amounts of time. And so if you're suffering from something like fibromyalgia, for example, or an autoimmune immune condition, another autoimmune condition, or whatever it is, and you're really trying to work out, what to use, you can ask on that group, who else has used the oils and products, and can you please tell me what you've done? And so this support group is there for you all the time, endless. And then you also receive a doTERRA's beginner's guide to essential oils, and that's worth £30 as well. So this all comes to that amount. So that's what it is. How how does that sound? So we we had two options. I had two options. Lindsay had two options. When we first came across the oils, money was a real thing for me as well at the time. So, spending money on something was a big, big decision for me. And I had two options of, am I going to trust in this and see where this takes me and trust that these oils can help and that this is a natural medicine that's really going to make a difference? Or am I going to just think that was interesting and no, they're too expensive? And you can probably guess which, obviously, option I did. And I am so honestly so glad I took that leap of faith, even though my husband at the time thought I was crazy
Mhm.
and literally said, "What are you doing spending money on oils?" It was the best decision, one of the best decisions I've ever made. Now, like Lindsay said, I cannot imagine my life without essential oils. I have these incredible tools that I can use for anything. So, that was the value that I showed you before, and this is actually what the cost is for you guys for tonight. And we show the value because and we really want to emphasize what you are getting for this. So, the Home Essentials kit, buying it tonight is going to just cost you £278.50. Now, that's our favorite kit. That's the one with the 15 ml bottles. So it's the same kit. These two kits, the same 10 core oils, just different size options. So my favorite is definitely the Home Essentials because of the value for money. You get that frankincense that's worth £80 in there, and you get 240 drops. So that's going to last you a lot longer, and you get the diffuser as well. I don't know why has my picture gone off?
And no, it's still on. It's
There
on
we go.
the
Ah, fine,
two
okay.
kits. Oh,
Just got
your
off my.
video has, yes.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so the Home Essentials kit comes with a diffuser as well. So you're literally able to help, the whole family with that diffuser. So it's a really, really good value for money kit. And then the smaller one, that's also a really good starter kit as well. It's a 5 ml bottles. So the same oils, just 5 ml bottles. That's 80 drops of oil. So that's also a great place to start depending on what your budget is. And as I said, both kits include the 10 core oils. So, like we did, you have two options. You have two, and we understand that, it's a bit of a leap of faith when you first take this. We've been there and we take people through this leap of faith all the time. And honestly, it is such a game changer to have natural medicine at your fingertips. So your options are, of course, you could take that plunge of faith and, choose to start your journey with essential oils with our support. Or this could be just a very informative, interesting webinar. And you need to trust yourself and your instinct and know when you're ready for this journey as well, right? And what I think the real question is, what if one of the symptoms that you came with to this webinar tonight, you could get your oils in a few days and you could start to use natural medicine to alleviate that symptom and really work on that symptom? And what if in time, in a few weeks' time, as you work with us and we help work with you, that you could feel so confident that whatever you're suffering with, you might have a few ailments going on, or you might not have anything, but some things might possibly come up in the future. But if you could feel so confident that you could treat those ailments just using natural medicine, how would that feel? How empowering would that be to not be at the mercy of what the doctor says, or, what medications might come up that then cause side effects, but to feel so confident because you've now learned about the oils, you've started to use them, you've seen them work, that really whatever comes up, you have a natural solution. Honestly, like Lindsay's gone through some real serious illness. I haven't as much, but I've helped so many people who have literally gone from having debilitating illnesses to have some hope and then to start to feel better and then to actually get better. And that is just incredible. It's such a wonderful gift, and we just can't underestimate that and the value of that, right? So just to remind you again of what you will receive, and we really just want you to know this because we know it's an investment, right? We understand it, and we are here to support you. We really want you to not just get oils and not really know how to use them and perhaps leave them on the shelf. We want you to embrace this journey, get oils, get excited, and learn how to use them so you really do get the impact that you will get by using essential oils daily. And that's why we offer all this education that has such value, and we give it to you for free with your starter kit. So, what is your next step? And again, it depends on you. It's your choice, right? It's whatever you're feeling and what you're ready for. So I know lots of you here already have oils. And for those who haven't got oils, then if you're feeling, yes, I'm ready, I would like to order some oils, then just type link into the chat so we know how to help you. And if you know which kit you want, then you can type Home Essentials, which is the larger kit, that's the 15 ml bottle one, or the Family Essentials is the 5 ml bottle one. And whoever invited you to this webinar can then send you the link, and you can just fill it out yourself online. And the oils will get sent to you within 3 to 5 days, depending on where you are. And you'll have these oils in your home, and then we will book a consultation with you to help you on your journey. And then if you are like you've loved the information and you want some more information first before making a choice, and perhaps you want to be guided a bit more, then that's absolutely fine too. Then just type in chat into the chat box, and the person who invited you will reach out to you as well to have that chat with you. Just as like a special gift for tonight, for those who are ready, we'd also like to send you an extra gift just from us as well. And that is the end of our webinar. So I'm just going to stop the recording.